We are just hours away from the first presidential debate between President Biden and former President Trump. What you need to know about the event hosted by CNN. And two giant pandas from China are on their way to the U.S. in a big step for panda diplomacy. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Thursday, June 27th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. It's debate day in the U.S. President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump will take the stage tonight at CNN Studios in Atlanta. The cable news network is hosting the debate with anchors Jake Tapper and Dana Bash moderating. Both Biden and Trump have long agreed to CNN's rules. No live audience. Mics will be muted when it's the other candidate's turn to speak. Podiums are 8 feet apart, which is closer than the last time Biden and Trump met on a debate stage in 2020, when the podiums were positioned 12 feet apart during the pandemic. President Biden won the coin toss, choosing to stand stage left, which shows on the right side of your television screen. This gave the final word of the night to Trump. The event is 90 minutes long, 2 commercial breaks. Though CNN is the host for the evening, other networks will be allowed to air it at the same time. This will be the earliest a general election debate has ever been held, with weeks to go before both parties hold their national conventions to officially secure their party nominations. There will be a second debate in September, hosted by ABC. A Texas man who kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and fatally shot an 18-year-old woman in 2001 was put to death Wednesday night on what would have been his victim's 41st birthday. Ramiro Gonzalez was pronounced dead just before 7 p.m. at the state prison in Huntsville for the killing of Bridget Townsend. The Supreme Court denied a defense plea to intervene less than 2 hours before the execution. Gonzalez used his final words to apologize to Townsend's family. Gonzalez was also serving 2 life sentences for kidnapping and raping another woman. This execution was the second this year in Texas and the 8th in the U.S. It was also the first of 2 scheduled this week in the U.S. Today, Oklahoma is scheduled to execute Richard Rojum for the 1984 abduction, rape, and murder of a 7-year-old girl. The White House says the U.S. and Israel have worked through so-called misunderstandings about weapon shipments as Israel's defense minister is in the U.S. meeting with top defense officials this week to broker a solution to the war in Gaza. The meetings come after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a video last week saying the U.S. was slowing weapons shipments promised to Israel, accusations the U.S. denied. However, the pause on sending large bombs that's been in place since May, when President Biden voiced concerns about their potential use in populated areas, is still under review, so those shipments will not be going out just yet. Israel's defense minister making this statement after Wednesday's meeting.
In every family, and we consider the American people as our family. Disagreement may arise, yet, like all families, we discuss our disagreements in-house and remain united. Looking at the future, we stand firmly behind the president's deal, which Israel has accepted, and now Hamas must accept or bear the consequences. We are committed to bringing the hostages home, with no exception. We are committed to defending our people.
Also on Wednesday, Democratic Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman traveled to Israel to meet with Netanyahu. Fetterman has been a vocal supporter of Israel since the war with Hamas began, a position that's isolated him from many of his progressive supporters. In a video, Netanyahu thanked Fetterman for his unwavering support, saying Israel has had no better friend. After ramming the doors to Bolivia's government palace with armored vehicles, soldiers pulled back in the country's capital of La Paz last night, and an army general was arrested, with Bolivia's president slamming the coup attempt against the government and called for international support. In a rebellion that lasted just 3 hours, Bolivian troops seemed to take control of the government until the president named a new army commander who immediately ordered the troops to stand down. Late last night, Bolivia's defense minister said, quote, "Everything is now under control." The apparent coup attempt came as the country has faced months of tensions and political fights between its president and former president over control of the ruling party and a severe economic crisis. It's the beginning of a new era in panda diplomacy. The San Diego Zoo's newest giant pandas are on their way from China, marking the first time Beijing loaned pandas to the U.S. in 2 decades. Chinese state media reports the 2 pandas left China Wednesday night for a chartered flight to their new home in California. Zoo officials say the pandas won't be viewable to the public for a few weeks as they get used to their new surroundings. The panda loan marks a step forward for relations between the U.S. and China as they try to repair ties strained by disputes over trade, technology, the status of Taiwan, and other issues between the world's 2 largest economies. Finally this morning, for the 2nd year in a row, a basketball player from France was selected first in the NBA draft, and several other rising stars from the country would shortly follow.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rizache from Lyon, France, and France's JL Bourg-en-Bresse.
The 19-year-old 6'9" forward became the 15th international player to go at number 1. Rizache was the first of 4 French players taken in the first round, including Alex Sarr, selected 2nd by the Washington Wizards. These are your top stories for this Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.